Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship predictions for the playoffs. It's part 2 as we've got the second legs. It's half time in the Championship playoff semi-finals and every team's still got a chance of getting to Wembley. They're quite delicately poised at the moment. Before we get into this video, do make sure to get your predictions down below. Let me know who you support and what you reckon the scores are going to be down below. Don't hate us for our predictions. It's just a bit of fun, remember. Do make sure, of course, to hit that like button. We'll go for 444 likes on this one, so do make sure to hit a thumbs up button and do make sure, of course, to subscribe. I'm joined by Sophie. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit nervy. How are you?
Not too bad. We'll come on to Coventry in a minute, of course. Yeah. But let's start with the first game, which is on Tuesday night. It's at Kenilworth Road, Luton Town versus Sunderland. First thing I've got to say, well done, Sophie, on your prediction. You went 2-1 for the Black Cats, and it did finish 2-1 to Sunderland. This is a really interesting one. Both of these sides have picked up more points away from home than they have at home. So the fact Sunderland are now going to Luton with an advantage as well, they've got to be favourites here out of these two to get to Wembley. Not that it's done and dusted. I've got to say, Luton Town, I did back, got it wrong. I thought they played really well for the first half an hour of that game. I thought they were bullying Sunderland with their physicality and they were good from set pieces, but then Sunderland with an absolute beauty with Diallo's goal. He has got a wand of a left foot, and sometimes just having those magicians who can produce that bit of magic can be what gets you through in the end. And then, to be fair, Sunderland did end the game the better team and maybe deservedly got the win over the line. So they go to Luton Town. This game is still certainly open. First goal is absolutely crucial, Sophie. If Luton Town score first, then it's game on. If Sunderland score, you feel like the game's getting away from Luton Town. I'd maybe go as far as to say I think whoever scores first might go on to win the tie overall. I think if Luton score, I think I see them swinging it back their way. But if Sunderland make it 3-1 on aggregate, I think they start to run away with it. This is really interesting. Kenilworth Road's certainly a different ground to the Stadium of Light. It'll be an intimidating atmosphere. Well, that's what Luton Town will be hoping to do. Sunderland will only be given about 1,000 tickets as the away allocation is obviously quite small. Sophie, what do you think? Did you see the game, by the way?
I didn't see the game. I've obviously seen the score and some of the stats.
Yeah. And
then a couple of the highlights. But I did think that Luton throughout the 90 minutes would be slightly better. I don't know whether the pressure got to them a little bit. But going into it, sometimes it's better to be the underdog rather than the favourites. And for that tie, I guess Sunderland was. Just overall, I feel like they are the underdogs in this, finishing 6th, just sneaking into the playoffs last minute. I don't know, it's a different game at Kenilworth Road than it is at the Stadium of Light.
It certainly is, it certainly is. The problem here for Luton Town is they have been a bit draw heavy. They've drawn quite a few games at home, and a draw will knock them out now that they're losing from the first tie. They need to win, and preferably win by 2 goals to win it over the 90. If they win by 1 goal, we're looking at extra time and penalties. Obviously, remember, no away goals apply in the playoffs, so if it was 1-0, it'd still go to extra time and penalties. This is tricky. I've really enjoyed Luton Town this season. I think they really do deserve to be at the playoff final based on the fact they finished 3rd and got so many points and been so good. Sunderland have just come out of nowhere and their form is brilliant.
Yes.
For this occasion, Sophie, I'm going to pass predictions over to you to go first.
Ooh, privilege is all mine. So going into the first leg, I felt like Sunderland being the home team would get the win. And that's why I predicted a 2-1. So I still thought that Luton would be in it. And actually, going into the first leg, I thought that Luton Town might win their home leg. So which would leave it very, very open. It's just, what is the score going to be? I agree with you very much. I feel like whoever gets the goal first will go on to win it. If it's Sunderland and they get it early on, it's almost game over. But I'm going to back the Hatters. 2-0, Luton Town progress for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Luton Town are still going through. Do you know what, that's interesting, Soph, because you were the one out of us two to back Sunderland for the first leg, but it's interesting, you got it right, but you're now going for Luton. It'd be incredible if you get this prediction right as well. I'm not just doing this to be different, but I've really loved Luton this season, but I just think their draws could come back to bite them here. I reckon this might finish 1-1, which means Sunderland go through. It'd be great to see Luton get there, But I just think Sunderland are in a very strong position here.
Yeah.
Just don't concede in the first 20 minutes. See where you're at. If you get that first goal, I think you're probably going there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-1, which means Sunderland
Would go
to
through.
Wembley. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
wow.
We've gone different on that
Yeah.
one. So let me know what you think and your predictions on that one. Let's move on to Wednesday, Sophie. Obviously, only one other game. The Riverside, Middlesbrough versus Coventry. It's certainly all to play for after a draw. We did say Coventry need to try and nail down some advantage because we never win at the Riverside.
Right.
We didn't lose, which is obviously a bit of a plus, but we didn't really want a 0-0 draw. I think Middlesbrough will be slightly happier. But if you look at the game, Sophie, I think Middlesbrough possessed a bit more of a threat. Coventry didn't have a shot on target.
No.
So maybe a mixture of Coventry, a bit disappointed by that performance, but also a little bit relieved that we're not losing going into this one. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I do feel a little bit disappointed because I feel like if we wanted to make it to the final, then we had to win our home leg. I know that seems like a lot of pressure and a draw isn't the end of the world. However, our record at the Riverside is shocking, so I'm not feeling too confident going into it. Our performance overall, I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I do think Middlesbrough had the better chances, and I feel like they kind of set up for a draw or to sneak a 1-0, and they'll be happy with the draw. It does definitely benefit them more than it does us.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be the bookies' favourites, and I think most people that aren't Coventry fans will be leaning towards Middlesbrough. I think that could suit Coventry. I think we can play quite well without the pressure on our shoulders. If Coventry go and lose here, we're not exactly going to be kicking off, are we? Middlesbrough are certainly the team with the expectancy to go on and get to Wembley here. I think we've still got a very credible chance, though, as Coventry fans, I must say. It's going to be interesting. I do think Middlesbrough's depth is something that really could be crucial in a game which could go to extra time and penalties, and I think it might go that way, considering we've been quite inseparable, especially over the last two games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Coventry City really need the stars to shine. I thought Hamer played quite well against Middlesbrough. Gyökeres was quiet.
Yeah.
I wonder if Middlesbrough did target him, or maybe we set up in a way which meant he didn't get so much service, but we need him to maybe get a goal or something in this one. Massive game, but I don't know. Middlesbrough very good. Once again, Sophie, I'll pass it over to you.
God.
Get your prediction in.
I don't want to. My heart is saying back Coventry City to win. You've got to. You're a Sky Blue fan. My head is saying that Middlesbrough are going to win 1-0. But I feel like Robbins is going to make a couple changes. I feel like we're going to set up differently than we did at home. I think we'll pack out the midfield a little bit more and just play one up top with Yok up top. But I'm going to say 1-1. My head's saying we're going to lose, but my heart's saying we can't lose, so 1-1. Extra time, no one scores, and we go through on penalties.
Really?
Yeah.
Coventry on penalties?
On penalties, yeah.
Do you know what, Soph? That's really interesting, because I'll give you my prediction now. I also think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be 1-1 over 90 minutes, either 1-1 or 0-0. I think Middlesbrough could pinch it in the 90, maybe by one goal or something, especially if they score early. That could really ruin Coventry's game plan, who are going to come and have to be a bit more defensive. I think it could be 1-1 over 90 minutes. I think as well it could go all the way to penalties.
Yeah.
The tricky thing is, Soph, if it goes to penalties, I like Ben Wilson in goal. I think he saved one or two penalties for Coventry. I'm not 100% sure what Stefan's like in a penalty shootout. They've probably got quite a lot of players that can take good penalties, Middlesbrough. But when it comes to penalties, Soph, I think Middlesbrough being at home could make the difference. You know, putting off Coventry City's players, and then, you know, being able to have a good support when they take their penalties and stuff. I think Middlesbrough could win this on penalties. So I'm going to go 1-1 for Middlesbrough on penalties, which I don't completely mind going for Middlesbrough because it takes the pressure off us, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. But there you go, guys. Do you think this one goes the distance? Let us know down below. Are you nervous, Sophie?
Very.
So am I. Goodness me. Right, make sure to get your predictions down below, guys. We will be predicting the Championship Player Final when that does roll around. Let me know which sides you think will be in the final. Do make sure, of course, to drop a like, and do make sure to subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.